Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with another One Piece chapter to react to. We have One Piece chapter 1141. I have not been spoiled at all, nor have I even been warned about this chapter. That's not to say it's not going to be hype, but usually, you know, when it's groundbreaking, I get a warning. But I mean, nonetheless, we're excited because we have more One Piece to react to. So, and I mean, we're in Elbaf at this point, so pretty much every chapter is pretty solid. I'm not going to lie. So, appreciate y'all showing up. I saw Vex in the chat. Appreciate you, Vex. I think it was like last night at like 6 in the morning when I guess that'd be the morning, wouldn't be last night. You know what I mean? But like soon after I scheduled the stream, I saw Mataja. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but I saw you in the chat like right away, and you said, "Yo, what's good, early ones?" I saw that. I just wanted to give you a shout out because that was super duper early. And unfortunately, I don't have free memberships to give. If it was tomorrow, if it was 10 hours from now, I would have more free memberships to give from YouTube, but I don't have those. But that's all right, because I did see that Knack Reacts said, like the stream, get it to 100 for a surprise. And if you know Knack, you might know what that surprise is. So make sure you guys like the stream. Alexander Fiorella with the $2 super chat. Hope you're having an awesome week, Dak. Much love. Appreciate you, Alexander. It's been a pretty solid week. It has been super duper busy, as you guys probably saw on a community post. I was supposed to have the mural video up last week. I think I mentioned that in the last reaction, but unfortunately, I did not get that done in time. The video is now over an hour, so it's a good excuse, I guess, because you guys are going to have a lot of content to watch. And I mean, the reason it got to an hour is because I kept finding connections or theories to make and all that kind of stuff. So you guys will like that. That'll be out next weekend. But tomorrow we will have the Florian Triangle video that covers, which if you saw my last video, I know there was like a little bit of a hint to that. You know, I had the 5K likes thing, which you guys crushed. So thank you. So you guys might get the gist of some of that video, but I go in depth on kind of the lore behind it, the real world ties to Bermuda Triangle and all that kind of stuff. And we get into what Emu's form might be, you know, why that's Emu, what's under the Florian Triangle, all that stuff. So you guys will like that. It would be really crazy if this chapter is somehow tied to it. I highly doubt it because we're in Elbaf, but that would be crazy if I got some more fuel, but we'll see. If I do, I'll have time to splice it in, but that'll be out tomorrow. So hope you guys are excited for that one. And then Davon, aka Schoolboy Beats with the $2. Go Eagles until next season. Hey, fly, Eagles, fly, man. I'm all about the Eagles. We don't need the Chiefs winning and anything else. They're good. They got enough. But you know, I'm glad you said that because Davon, I don't know if you're a basketball guy, but you know, now that the NFL season's over, we're fully in swinging basketball season now. We're in the final third of the season, and tonight we have my Cleveland Cavaliers at the Boston Celtics. An amazing matchup. It's their last one of the year. It's our last playoff tune-up. So if you're a basketball fan, watch that game tonight. It's nationally televised. Trust me, you guys will like it. But all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the chapter now because honestly, as soon as I'm done here, I'm getting back to work on the Florian Triangle video to make sure that it comes out by tomorrow because I don't like pushing these back. And I know you guys are very kind about it, and you guys don't give me a hard time. You know, you guys are okay whenever the videos come out for the most part. But I don't like leaving you hanging, so I'm gonna make sure we get that video done. So yeah, we're gonna get started. And also, I will be recording a redacted video for this chapter. It'll probably be with Sai. Sai said that he'd be free this weekend, but I haven't like re-upped with him in the last couple days, so I'll make sure. But he said he was free, so hopefully it'll be Sai. So be on the lookout for that as well. Davon, aka Schoolboy Beats. Unfortunately, my Sixers suck. Love Maxey though. Hey man, I'm sorry to hear that for real. Sixers are in a bad place. They're in. I mean, I don't know if you should trust the process anymore. I'll say that. Maxey is great though. I like Maxey a lot. So at least you have that going for you. And also McCain. I know he's hurt for the rest of the year, but he's also a bright spot. Maybe it's just time to trade Embiid, man. You know. But all right, let's get into the chapter. We can talk more about basketball towards the end. I'll talk about that even more than I should. But all right, One Piece chapter 1141, Older Women. All right, very interesting. I'm getting my One Piece OST going in my ear. All right, cool. All right, Older Women, interesting. And now, so we see the continuation of the cover story, which is continuing pretty much as I expected. It says, can't hold back the tears of frustration. So Is that just, just Ulti being mad at page 1 getting cooked down there, it looks like? You can barely see him, but, I mean, he's not, yeah, there's no way he's dead. I mean, Oda ain't killing page 1 in a cover story, although if he did, you wouldn't hear any complaints from me, I'll tell you that. I'm the #1 page 1 hater on planet Earth, so, you won't hear any complaints from me, Oda. But I do feel like this kind of, I don't know, I think a lot of people, including me, have talked about this, but the cover story is moving kind of slow, and it was good that it picked up a little bit where we saw this Who's Who stuff, and we saw Ulti in here and stuff. But this is, like, we already kind of knew this happened, because in the last chapter, Ulti's like, Payton, or whatever, right? Like, so we knew page 1 was here, so I feel like it slowed down a little bit again, but hey, I mean, I'll trust it, Oda. Oda's going somewhere with this. It's crazy that we're 27 chapters deep, and really not a lot has happened. 20. That's actually crazy. 27 already for this cover story. That's insane. Wow. Well, anyway, let's move on to the real chapter. What a waste. We've been trekking through this massive castle all day, and we don't even have a single giant diamond, pearl, or piece of gold to show for it. Typical Nami. Namitaso, you really shouldn't say such things out loud. It's not like I care about this Loki monster, you know? Loki? Giant diamond? Oh, it's nothing to worry about, pal. Is that hinting that there is a giant important diamond somewhere? Is that... That's weird. Oh, it's nothing to worry about, pal. Just lay back and get some rest. Namitaso, can you tone it down a bit? Where's all the treasure? Namitaso. So I wonder why he's being that worried about her talking about the treasure. Did he take it or something? And he doesn't want them to... That's going somewhere. That's just awkward. Treasure Tree Tour Group. All right, so now we're back to Frankie after the mural visit, which I've been waiting to see what he's got to say. Ain't surprising, but there's a hell of a lot to take in here. It's incredible. To summarize, we basically live on the tree's enormous branches. Homes, atom trees, so I like the little diagram here. Oda does this every arc, and I love it. Each one has a long, rich history of its own. Wow, and that one? That branch was where Hagen Village used to be. That's crazy. Also, the tree is hollow, which is something I talked about in a video a while ago. I mean, we'll have to see if that leads to more, or if it's just like the tree branch was dying or something. Lightning struck it one day and it went up in flames. It had gotten too dry and old, so there was no way to put it out. Okay, gotcha. So that part is old specifically. The entire branch was severed from the tree to ensure the fire wouldn't spread to any of the other villages. Interesting. I see. Bet that was a tough call. I guess even atom trees aren't immune to time. That's Elbaf's biggest weakness. Fire and lightning. So, for the lightning part, everyone's thinking about Enel showing up, right? I mean, I really hope. I hope everyone's thinking about that. Enel's got to be pulling up if that's what they're talking about. Also, in Skypiea, we had like the giant Jack, and the story of Jack and the Beanstalk is that you climb up to the sky and find giants, and here we're in the land of giants. So I've always thought like there's some connection here, and obviously the giant Jack fell, and so hearing lightning made this fall is interesting. The fire part, though, maybe that hints to Loki, or even the lightning could hint to Loki and make that a true Enel parallel. Just gonna keep reading. Western Village Feast. Where did you sneak off to, Nami? I haven't seen Luffy or Zoro anywhere either. They're probably just exploring. That's right. Good thinking. Okay, so they went off to Loki, right? Yeah, they probably went off to Loki. Whoa, Jarl! You've got to meet our genius navigator. Oh, ain't she a beauty? You pervy old man. Is she your type? Boshasha. I like that laugh. That's cool. My type, huh? Honestly, I'm into older women. Bro, you're the oldest guy in the world. There's no way you'll find a woman like that. Oh, did Usopp go and slap the sword in his head? Bro. Usopp, let's chill, man. Let's leave my guy Jarl alone. So this is the name, this is why the chapter is titled that. He's gonna find someone who's like his age, isn't he? I feel like that's gonna happen. Usopp, keep your mitts off the Elder's sword. Shut up, Dory. Hey, anyone want to try pulling out Excalibur? That's crazy. That's a crazy reference right there, Usopp. Don't. The blood loss will kill him. Oh my, he's so drunk. Is that Brook? Brook, wait. Bro, you got your head in the wrong spot, my guy. Look who's talking. That's hilarious, Brook. That is actually really funny. I guess I can't be helped, though. This was his dream, making it all the way here. Wahaha, you can tell. All right, let's be real clear, Nami. His dream wasn't just to get here. All right, Usopp's got big things that needs to happen this arc. All right. So let's not get it twisted. The dream is not accomplished. Huh? Something's off. Where's Gerd-chan? They have bone fractures, and one of them looks like they've been stabbed. You really think a normal human could cause that kind of damage? Oh, so looking at the giants. Okay, gotcha. What happened? Out with it. These guards are no jokes. What are you up to? Nothing. I was merely up there doing research, so I can improve my block castle. But I found the front door all sliced up, and the guards were... Are you hot? You're sweating bullets. Because you keep staring at me? Roto. Look, man, we need to stop the Roto redemption arc, alright? We gotta... Oda, come on. We gotta find someone else to, I feel like he's in every chapter now, you know? We just saw him getting crucified like 6 chapters ago, and now he's like a focal point. I'm gonna question the guards. No, they need to rest. Well, I'm gonna tell Elder Jarl. But that'll ruin the party for him. Roto's like hiding some big stuff right now. You can't do that till you get all the facts straight. Nobody likes a party pooper. Well, right now he's hiding the Loki stuff, I guess. But even the treasure part, you know, from earlier, is definitely weird. If this Loki business gets out before Luffy, Tasso, and the others return, I'll be labeled a co-conspirator. Hopefully Loki just takes off once he's free. He can raise hell overseas for all I care. Interesting. So we're going to see Loki towards the end of the chapter get freed, maybe? The only thing that worries me is that red hair look-alike. Spill it. You know something, don't you? I like that. Now, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, Oda's like setting up a... I wouldn't say quite like a murder mystery, but he's definitely setting up like a, you know, like they're trying to piece together this whole thing. And I like that angle to it. And the way that everyone's split up is kind of making it harder for them to piece things together, right? Because like people keep breaking up and seeing different parts and different things happen and all that. Like it's honestly crazy to think that only like a few of the crew members even saw, well, only Frankie saw the Harley text, and only Chopper and Robin saw the Harley text, right? I think that's how it's split up. I can't remember exactly, but it's crazy how everyone's seeing different stuff right now. All right, let's move on. Hey, Luffy, this isn't the scene I pictured from your description. He wasn't like this when I saw him. The animals have been attacked too. Hang in there, guys. Loki, what happened? Who did this? He's big even for a giant. I love that because of the ancient giant lore that we've already had with this arc. Loki, say something. Ah, he's breathing. Don't give him the key yet, Luffy. This changes things. It's not like he can go on a rampage with these wounds. Come on, Zoro, lend me a hand... Those chains must be made from sea stone. All right, that's a really cool way to have that 100% confirmed, or to kind of have that explained to these two, you know, to have Luffy actually affected by it. That's kind of cool. I like Zoro kind of being smart and like taking advantage of the situation here, or trying to. What could have taken out all these big beasts? Hold on, Luffy. Let's wait a bit. This giant's about to die. We've got to help him. We don't owe him a thing. I haven't spoken to him, but we shouldn't take his bad reputation lightly. This guy, oh, dude. This guy is as big as oars. Oh, dude. I love that. I love that. With the he's big even for a giant connection, and then, and I think and a lot of people have probably said this, but, you know, with Loki's initial introduction, or even this one, to be honest, is a lot like Moria, from Moria being in the freezer and tied up the very same and all that stuff. So I wonder if he's going to say something. If we let him run loose, it may not end pretty, even for a country like Elbaf. Just wait. Did Zoro just go and kick him? Whoa, what the heck, Zoro? Alright, so he woke up. Alright, yeah, he's screaming in pain here. Seems those bloody wounds are definitely the real deal, so he's not faking. Damn you, what the hell? Blop, he's dead. If he is dead, that was simply his fate. You can be a real jerk. Damn, Zoro. This is a cool Zoro chapter right now. Fine, I'll go along with unlocking him, but let's leave some sea stone around one of his legs. Is he gonna like chop off his leg or something? If we can talk it out, or we can talk it out more once he regains consciousness. Alright then, let's go fetch Chopper. The library is way too far away. I'll bet we'll find a doctor partying back at the village, though. If they find out we freed Loki, they'll banish us, won't they? Then we'll be banished. We've got no choice. I'm gonna go call a doctor. We should stock up on meat too, right? Knowing you, you won't be at your best if you don't eat. There's plenty of meat over there. Oh, Zoro, right, whoa, okay. See, now we're crossing the line, Zoro. We gotta leave the animals alone. We gotta leave the pets alone. We aren't eating the pets. We aren't eating the cats and the dogs. No way. Don't even joke about something like that. Those guys are my buddies. I love you, Luffy. I can just go hunting in the mountains later. Meat's meat, isn't it? Anyone who becomes my friend is off the menu. Alright, my bad. Let's find a doctor first. Uh-huh. Please don't do it. Oh, okay, so now we got Harudin and Stanson and all these guys showing up. We got the whole new giant warrior pirate showing up, basically. Technically Luffy's subordinates, which is cool. I told you, island clouds can't sustain themselves in the realm of the dead. That's an interesting... That's an interesting bit of science there that Oda's throwing in. Wonder why that, because like is it because of the water vapor that's in it and like it freezes and so it's like too condensed or something? I don't know. I thought we could use their last bit of buoyancy before they disappeared. I'll save you, Gerd-chan. Is that Sanji? We couldn't waste time getting a lift. This is an emergency. If Loki escapes, all hell will break loose. It's all over. We're all gonna die. Sorry, guys. I made the wrong call. I don't blame you. You were thinking about the safety of Elbaf. What a life. And Gum Gum Balloon. I love that. That's so cool. It's cool because, like I said, these guys are like, you know, Luffy's subordinates in a way. And obviously he's the sun god and all that. And it's just cool that, like, you know, he comes in to save the day and just show that he's the boss, kind of. You know, like, I think that's a pretty cool thing for some of these guys to kind of get really introduced to Luffy in a way. Obviously, they know of him, and Harudin's met him and all that, but I just think that's a pretty cool introduction to have them all show up and Luffy save him that way. I like that for Oda. They're all like, Haradin, you're following the right guy, you know? Straw Hat, look how happy Haradin is, man. Ha ha ha. Everyone's just huffing and awing and kiaing. Thank you. Even walking away from that hurt is a miracle. If it weren't for you, we'd be dead for sure. It's also crazy that Luffy was able to make a big enough balloon for that, given it's a giant ship and a bunch of giants on it. Huff huff. We had to hurry though. I'm glad we made it in time. Please don't go through with your plan to release Loki, Straw Hat. I forced Roto to spill the beans. Forgive me, Luffy Tasso. You can't trust Loki. He's a cunning, ruthless trickster, black-hearted and beyond redemption. Since we were kids, even when he did or said something nice, it was all a lie. He's a fiend who betrays others without a second thought. Loki's a threat to the entire world. I'm afraid you're already too late. Huh? Oh, bro. No way. Oh, man. Wait. Hold on. That's a badass panel of Loki standing up there. That's crazy. And so, I just want to go back real quick and make sure. Okay, yeah. So I see Zoro up there doing it, and then that's right when they come in. Okay, I gotcha. So he did do it in the midst of that. I get the timing now. That's crazy. That is crazy. Loki? What? I could have sworn he was out cold. Stop it. Loki. Put Ragnir down. Bro. Alright. So Loki is freed. Which I mean, that's crazy. That has me really, really hyped for the next chapter. I feel like a lot of us kind of felt like this, was definitely going to happen at some point. But I'm just pumped that it finally did. Because now, I feel like, I mean, the arc was already, really strongly underway with, the God's Knights here and stuff. Several of them now. And now they're, hunting all the kids and stuff. But, like, now that Loki is freed, it's like, we're really about to hit the gas. You know what I mean? Like, we have the pedal to the metal at this point. I'm really hyped for this next chapter. Okay, so he says, put Ragnir down. I was wondering what Ragnir is. That's his hammer, right? I think that's the implication. Am I right? Am I crazy for that? I think that's what's going on. Because I see him grab it in that other panel. This is just such a cool panel with Loki standing that way. Like, damn. I'm going to go back through and just reread a couple things real quick. Because I feel like there was like so much discussion, like they were really debating this Loki stuff for a while. That's like most of the chapter. It's so interesting to me that Zoro is the one who did it. And, like, I get that, Luffy couldn't do it because it's Sea Stone chains. But I just think for Oda, like, to make Zoro the one who did it, like is Loki gonna owe Zoro a favor now? Because remember how he had the whole deal where if you free me, I'll destroy a pirate crew of your choosing? Like, is Zoro gonna take him up on that offer now? I mean, Zoro, like, this whole chapter was kind of being a hard ass, like saying you could just go eat the animals, meat's meat and whatever, and like if Loki was dead, it's simply his fate. Like, he's kind of being a hard ass this whole chapter, and like he wanted to like take advantage of the situation, kind of, or like that's like how it felt, sort of. Like where he said, let's leave some sea stone around one of his legs. Which did he do that? Oh yeah, so he still has one there. So Loki's not completely free. Okay, so he did do that. So Loki's it. So we're getting to see a nerfed Loki is what Oda's doing, and that is really smart, I think, because it leaves a little bit for us to still see and be excited about, because now we're going to get to see roughly how strong Loki is, but he probably still can't transform, right? So now Oda can hide the fruit from us longer, but still let Loki go and start, raining some terror, so he leaves a little bit of mystery for us. I think that's actually genius. I also just noticed that my chat is not updating, so I'm going to pull up Chrome. Firefox, I don't know why you hate YouTube so much. I don't know what the beef is. It's probably that YouTube hates Firefox because, Chrome is owned by Google and YouTube's owned by Google. They probably don't want us to mix and match there, but all right, now I can see everything. And I should have all the super chats. I think we're good. But yeah, this is a very interesting development, the way that Oda did it. I'm a big fan. Because remember, like, from the Udon prison, we know that, like, Luffy and Kid were still, really physically imposing. Like, we're able to do more labor, I guess, than anybody else. But, the Sea Stone didn't let them use their powers. Like, they were a little bit nerfed, but they were still able to move and do kind of mostly normal things. And I think we're kind of looking at the same thing. Not that this is diluted Sea Stone like that was, but I think he's just so massive that, like, only a tiny bit of Sea Stone is going to affect him not as much, He still can't transform, though. So that's just crazy. And so we know that his weapon is called Ragnir, or at least that seems to be the implication. This is just such a cool... This is a cool chapter. I really like this one. Also, FYI, I think Knack React still has the bounty on 100 likes. So if you guys want to like the stream and get to 100, we'll see what surprise Knack Reacts has in store for us. But let's go ahead and get to the super chats. Just want to make sure okay, so John Stoops, member for 10 months. Monster Trio versus Loki next chapter would be fire. I didn't even think about that. That's actually so smart because Sanji just pulled up, right? On that ship with all the giants. I'm pretty sure, right? Because he was yeah, he's right there. Yeah, he was talking to Gerd and stuff. Oh man, it would have been really cool if Oda had Sanji, Luffy, and Zoro standing next to each other in front of Loki. That would have been a really cool scene to see, but maybe we'll get that next chapter. But that's actually a really good idea, John. I love that. That's definitely what's going to happen because it'll give us a little bit of context for how strong Loki is. And remember when we fought Kaido, we had the rooftop battle where we had, a 5v2 basically. And, obviously Luffy and Zoro were there, but not Sanji. And it's almost like we're getting that again, but it's the Monster Trio versus what I would probably consider like a Kaido level threat. I mean, we're going to see just how strong he is in a moment, but they might even be related. They might have the same dad, so they might literally be, similar strength. But he's also bigger than Kaido. I'm 99% sure. I guess I don't really know how tall Kaido is, but I don't think he's this tall. So yeah, that's going to be really cool because then Sanji can get in and kind of have that moment, right, where he's fighting one of the top tiers, like alongside the others, and instead of being a 2v5, we get like a 3v1, and I think that's just kind of cool. It's kind of like a step up a little bit. Like the crew can handle these massive threats themselves now. They don't need to go get captains from the other top crews anymore. I think that would be great, John, honestly. The more I think about it, that's fire. I love that. A Lonely Mage with the $10 super chat. I'm pretty sure you had some earlier, Lonely Mage. I don't see it. No, I see it. Never mind. Lonely Mage from earlier, member for 27 months. Thank you, Lonely Mage. I appreciate you. Gives Dak plus 3 points of perception. What was that for? Because I didn't see it whenever I was reading through, so I don't know what it applies to. But please let me know. What did I get a perception boost for? Was it maybe the Roto stuff or the diamond thing? Which that's actually still something that I'm curious what you guys think. Like, why is he so worried about the diamond part? Is it just because he doesn't want her to mention, like, that they've been to the castle or that they were looking for treasure because then people might hear the Loki plan? Is it that simple? Because he's like... Yeah, well, like, it's tough because I think he says you really shouldn't say such things out loud before she even says, it's not like I care about this Loki monster. I don't know. that still feels weird to me. It's probably just the Loki thing, but it makes me wonder. It makes me wonder if there's going to be a diamond somewhere, or if or maybe Loki took all the treasure. Maybe that's also what it is. That could be another cool element, because he did go and kill Harold, and maybe that's it. Maybe Loki took it and used it for a reason. That could also be where that's going. Also, Knack reacts, my guy, with the 10 gifted memberships. I don't even know if we're at 100 yet, Knack. You didn't have to do it that early, but I appreciate you nonetheless. You also said like the stream, hashtag free Loki. Loki's been freed, my guy. Well, I guess not completely. He's got the ankle monitor on. He's on house arrest. He can't go too far, but he's pretty much free. But thank you for the 10 gifted memberships, Knack. Remember, guys, that was supposed to be a bounty for 100 likes. So if we can still get to 100 likes, so Knack reacts, gets his side of the bargain, that would be fantastic. I'm gonna go back. I think I skipped a couple other super chats. I'm like all over the place today. Did John Stoops? Okay, other Lonely Mage one. This is where I was at. Lonely Mage for $10. Despite all this, Oda is going unnaturally hard on hammering in Loki being evil. I'm expecting a subversion coming. Completely, 100% agree. Like, he's going so hard on it that it has to be the opposite. Like, it would almost be better if Oda just left it where it was, like with our like initial depiction of Loki being evil, but having Harudin show up and say like, even since we were kids, he was bad, like all this stuff, like trying to give this like really convincing backdrop, and it's from Harudin, who, you know, we trust as being one of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet members. And so I think that happening is definitely like, Oda's going to subvert that for sure. Now, ironically, I do think he's going to confirm it in some way. Like, I think maybe the first thing Loki will do will be like an evil thing. But once we learn more about him, once we kind of get, you know, more of a feel for why he's doing what he's doing, I think we are going to learn that it's just not true. And I like that. I also just noticed that in that panel where Harudin's yelling at Luffy did that, like, I don't even know what to call it, that cute awkward face where he like puckers his lip a little bit, you know, and he's like kind of worried. I just saw he did that. Like Nami, I think, did that recently, and maybe Luffy another time. It's kind of like that oops face. And it's funny because obviously right after we see Loki's free, he's like, oh dang, Harudin, my bad. But yeah, I agree with you, Lonely Mage. He is not going to be evil the entire time. He'll probably be like a chaotic good, you know what I mean? Which I think Luffy kind of also is, but he's gonna be like, he's definitely gonna do some questionable things, but at the end of the day, he's good, you know, for sure. And I think we're probably also learning that you know, everything that Harold and Elbaf was doing wasn't necessarily good, and maybe he went in and killed Harold for a good reason. I can't remember who said it in the last stream, but it might be like even Harold could have had like a plan with Mother Carmel even. Like, what if he was in on that whole plan? Because Harold should have been the king back then, because Loki was even born during the Big Mom stuff. So it could be that Harold was like a truly bad dude, and that's why Loki's doing all this. And maybe what Harudin and all these guys need to learn is that, you know, the things that you're holding good that Loki is against aren't necessarily good. And, you know, we're just going to have to figure that out. But yeah, I agree. He's going to be a good, at least a neutral person by the end. Birch, member for 13 months, my guy Birch. Older women, Kureha's on her way, confirmed. That's actually hilarious. And, you know, given the context of Ripley and Scopper, where, you know, yes, you have a giant and a human together, and there's even an age gap. That's actually the reason that Scopper didn't want to marry Ripley. So let's flip that on its head and go get, you know, like, because that's a giant woman with a male human. So let's go get a female human with a male giant. Let's flip that around. I'm actually all for that. And if you saw my I think it's my last redacted video, where I talked about chapter 1139, because I didn't do one last chapter, unfortunately. I also talked about the theory, which you guys probably heard from Reddit or other places, that the mountain that Scopper chopped all the trees down on could be Drum Kingdom. And I think it could even be that Scopper's grandma just is Kureha. They wear the same glasses. Also, Chopper and Scopper. Also, Chopper was literally named that by Hiruluk, though, because he could chop down trees. So there's just a lot of weird, or that his antlers were so big, like they could chop down trees, not because he actually could, or he could push down a tree. So that's why they named him Chopper. And so there's already some weird ties there. So I really like that, Birch. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that's actually confirmed. Kureha, if there's a time for Kureha to pull up, it probably it could be now for sure. And we also have Luffy talking about needing to go get a doctor that badly, and Chopper being too far away. Like, imagine Kureha just pulls up. I love that, Birch. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you were saying that as a meme, or if you were being serious, but I'm telling you, it's serious. That's actually crazy. Davon, aka Schoolboy Beats, with the $2 super chat. Thank you for so many super chats today, bro. Seriously. Assuming Ragnir is the hammer play on Ragnarok, yeah, that's a good call. I would agree. So it's like, is Ragnir a god? I'm gonna look it up. Ragnir Norse. That'll do enough. Yeah, I mean, there are people named Ragnar, but I looked up Ragnir Norse, and immediately some of the results are spoiler stuff from from this chapter, which is hilarious. Yeah, so I'm guessing that's it, though. I'm guessing Ragnir. Maybe it'll even be Ragnar in the official. But yeah, I think that's definitely where he's going. It's a Ragnarok, implication. Now, I guess I'll say, just because I saw it on the One Piece spoilers or whatever, or on this Google result, what this person is saying is that maybe Ragnir, like maybe the hammer has a devil fruit in it, which we kind of saw from Shamrock. Now, not sure if that's a devil fruit specifically in Shamrock Sword. It might be whatever the Gorosei are doing, so it's not a devil fruit, even though it still is like a zone transformation. But that would be kind of cool if Loki's hammer is actually the thing that has the devil fruit, because like we know that zones have wills of their own, and zones are what go in inanimate objects. And so that would mean that the hammer has a will of its own, and that would also mean, well, I guess, so we know that Loki was kind of, well, was he like powerless when did he mention being like weakened by the sea stone? Because I'm wondering if because now that the sea stone's touching him, what if the fruit he stole was in the hammer? I guess is what I'm wondering. Because now this whole sea stone on his ankle would be pretty much useless. It'd be just like a normal chain. So I feel like he definitely has it. But the hammer having a devil fruit would be kind of cool. And if the hammer does have a zone and it has a will, we could also get to a point eventually where Usopp somehow takes control of it, or it only wants to listen to Usopp, which I think is something that Sai and I talked about on a redacted video. I can't remember exactly. I think it was Sai. I think that would be kind of cool. I mean, I think Loki's definitely going to have a fruit, but the hammer having one would be kind of dope. I'm not going to lie. Knack Reacts, member for 9 months. Appreciate you, Knack. Oh, I already said this. Like the stream, free Loki. Yeah, Loki's been 99% free, but I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Sam Fisher with the $5 super chat. Loki being a fiend and betrayer feels like it can be viewed through the lens of an older brother looking at an annoying prankster younger brother. Yeah, I like that too, because it could be like Harudin was a more responsible, following the rules kind of brother, and then when Loki came around, because Harudin's 18 years older, I think, right? Yeah, because he's 81, and I think Loki is 63, or he was born 63 years ago. Yep. Okay, so yeah, so I kind of like that. It's almost like Loki was kind of the rebellious younger brother that, I don't know if he was, doing things for attention, or whatever number of reasons are. But I like that Haradin's perspective of it might just be, since they were born to the king, he wanted to behave a certain way. Loki was behaving a completely different way, and I'm sure he did do some bad things, but that lens might be might be why he's so serious about it, where Loki maybe isn't actually that bad. I kind of like that. Quanadin, member for 9 months. 9 months already. What's your favorite game series? I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Yeah, 9 months is crazy. Seriously. My favorite game series. Oh, man. Wow. I mean, I could always take the easy cop out and say Pokemon, because I played a ton, but I don't even want to pick that because that's just too lame. And then, well, it's not the Pokemon's lame. I just mean it's a lame. It's like saying my dog's my favorite, my favorite animal is my dog. I would also like to say RuneScape, but that's not a game series. That is probably my favorite game of all time is RuneScape. So I don't want to pick that one either. And it's funny because I'm like, as a kid, I played semi-competitive Call of Duty, or was competitive, but it was semi-pro, I guess. Whenever I wasn't a kid, I guess I was a teenager, but when I was playing Call of Duty 4, I was really, really good. And so I used to love Call of Duty. I was a Call of Duty evangelist. Now you will never catch me playing that. So I have a soft spot for Call of Duty, but that's also a basic answer. And especially because Call of Duty sucks now, I don't want to name that one. So I think the one I'm going to go with is Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot's never done me wrong. I played through Crash Bandicoot in 100% of those games so many times. I think even on Twitch, I even have a Crash Bandicoot emoji over there. Yeah, I love Crash. I've actually been contemplating speed running Crash. That's look, I can barely get on Twitch to play Rivals, so I'm not making any promises. But I have thought about speed running Crash 4, It's About Time, because I haven't 100%ed that one, and I want to learn the 100% speedrun and try that, because when I was a kid, so Crash Bandicoot was real big when I was growing up, and, real big for my family, I guess. I mean, it was pretty big around the world, but my family played it a lot. And my grandpa, or my step-grandpa, I guess, technically, he was like a monster. He was like a wizard at it. And I remember as a kid just being amazed at how good he was. And he passed away a few years ago. I wasn't really close with him, so I mean, I'm not sad, although I am sad for the family. But I've always thought, to honor him, I should go do a speed run of the most recent Crash game and try to get on the leaderboard for the speed run record or whatever. So Crash Bandicoot is the answer, Quanadin. And if you guys have never played it, you need to go get the Insane trilogy. Time Lord with the 69 bits, very nice. Them saying Elbaf or the Atom Tree's weakness is fire and lightning. It's weird they mentioned those two specifically, because my mind immediately went to Prometheus and Hera. Oh, that's interesting. That's real. Oh, I didn't even think about that. That's crazy, Time Lord. I'm ready to see what you're cooking. Big Mom's homies. Maybe she strikes the tree with lightning, or perhaps hits it with a maser cannon, leaving a gigantic hole. Big Mom hurts Elbaf in the past with Yorl, and in the present with this, or with Jarl. Maybe she kills the other one, which, if Big Mom kills Jarl, I'm finding a way to go into the One Piece world and take out Big Mom once and for all, because Jarl's my guy. But as much as I want Enel back, this specific element combo has me feeling it's intentional. Yeah, that's really interesting. Now, yeah, I love that, because obviously we've kind of seen the opposite with Elbaf, right? Because if you go back to Mother Carmel's flashback, Prometheus, or Pandora, who was born during this fire during the village from Big Mom, was called the Sun God. They were saying that Prometheus saved them. But conversely, you could also read that as, Pandora was the fire that was burning the village. So by that same token, Pandora was kind of the evil that was hurting them. Now, it was Big Mom also, but that's just made even more ironic by the fact that Big Mom also went on to go get a fireball homie, right? So I love that. Fire and lightning, and Big Mom has fire and lightning. I mean, that's really good. I'm a huge proponent of that. I mean, I still think Enel's going to come back. I think that's a lock in my mind, but the Big Mom angle is really, really good. And I mean, the lightning could just be symbolized by both too. You could also look at it like the lightning homie that Big Mom has had has been I mean, Zeus definitely was powerful before, but he was also kind of a buffoon, and so like I feel like her lightning wasn't as good as the fire, so maybe that could be part of this too. Because fire, like I said with Mother Carmel, that's been more tied to those powers so far with Elbaf. Like Elbaf thinks about fire when they think of Big Mom and Mother Carmel, probably, right? But now maybe the lightning part can still be an L for that reason, so they both get represented. I don't know. Either way, I love that connection, Time Lord. That's genius. Seriously, that is, you're cooking right there. Big Cheap, member for 17 months. Appreciate you, Big Cheap. 17 months is a long time, dude. What would you say to Loki's weapon being ancient tech handed down over the years? If it's a hammer that has a devil fruit in it, then 100%, without any shadow of a doubt for me, because, with Tama's teapot existing, it does seem to be that other objects are getting zone fruits through some way, because we were told that Vegapunk was the only one who knew how to do it. But Caesar also did it. Like scientists, high-tech scientists were the only ones who figured it out. But if this one has a fruit, then I mean, it would have either had to happen by happenstance recently, which is possible, or maybe it is something from way back when. Like maybe this is a weapon that's been passed down since devil fruits came to be, even, and that could be some kind of ancient something in his sword or in his hammer. Now, conversely, if it's not a devil fruit, and it's just, we're looking at some kind of random technology, then I would say, we would definitely be looking for like a Mjolnir parallel here, and Mjolnir is usually it has like a really short handle. It's kind of like, I hesitate to call it like a mallet, but it's maybe more leaning towards that way, where it seems like this hammer has like a really long stick to it, and it doesn't really look like what a lot of the depictions of Mjolnir look like. And the thing about Mjolnir is there was electric powers with it. It would come back to the user like a boomerang. There was some weird stuff. So with that being said, even though this doesn't look like your typical Mjolnir, it could be that Ragnir is going to function the same, and maybe you can throw it, it'll come back, whatever. Now, if that's true, what that makes me think is maybe Loki will actually die this arc, which I have a hard time believing, but maybe it does happen. And then Usopp takes that hammer, for himself. And now obviously it's giant, but if it has some special tech, maybe it shrinks or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. I whatever it is, I do think this hammer is something important that's been handed down. I will say that. I think this is an old hammer that I want to say maybe even the first ores used, but that might be kind of crazy. That might be a little bit too much, but I do think it's very old. They Think I'm White has become a member. Wordplay of Ragnarok and Mjolnir. Yeah, that's very true. Wow, connecting to what I was just saying with Big Chief, that's actually a really good point. Maybe this is a Mjolnir hint. Ragnir. Maybe that's why they named it that. I didn't even think that. Well, we'll have to see what the official says, because they might just make it Ragnar. I mean, or if somebody can read the kanji, and knows Japanese, they could totally chime in and let me know. But if they stick with Ragnir, you're cooking. That's what it is. It's Ragnar and Mjolnir combined, for sure. And then that just increases the chance even more that Usopp's going to get this thing, I feel like. Or at least, maybe he won't get it, but maybe he'll be the only one to stop it. Like, maybe he'll be the one to stop Loki's rampage because the hammer listens to Usopp for some reason. I don't know. Well, Usopp stocks are going up. That's all I got to say. Knack Reacts, super chatted, Canadian 279. Had this exact thought and have a lot to back it. Wait, what? Just sent you thoughts on Loki's weapon in the Discord. All right, or that was another super chat. Wait, hold on. Just want to make sure I didn't miss any other ones in between. All right, let me go see what you sent. Also, Knack, hold on. Hey, Knack, we never VC'd. I just looked at our last couple messages. We never VC'd. Well, technically, I still owe you the VC, but you never messaged me, so I still owe you whenever you want. But basically, what Knack is saying is Loki might have a devil fruit weapon named Ragnir, dragon in some European languages, the guardian of the Earth plane, Shanks. Devil fruit weapon named Griffin, guardian of the astral plane. Shamrock, devil fruit weapon named Cerberus, guardian of Hades or the underworld. Okay, so it's kind of like the realms in Elbaf a little bit, where you have maybe like the heaven realm, the realm of the dead, and the sun realm. It's kind of like heaven, earth, and hell, and it's like maybe that's represented with their three weapons. Is that I think that's what you're saying? And like you said in stream, it would be easiest to pass down a devil fruit through the ages if it's in a weapon. Yeah, exactly. That to me is a big element. If this is like, if this does have a devil fruit, then that would be like, well, like that would be really cool, because like I said, with like the will of it all, it's like if you had the devil fruit in the weapon, then only the right kind of wills would be able to use it, I think. I mean, I don't know if we I don't know if we really know enough about the whole will thing to fully bank on that, but regardless, that would make a lot of sense. Like, here's this really powerful, scary weapon that could blow things up, but only certain people can use it because it'll only listen to certain people. And maybe Loki's one of those people, and maybe he even had to kill Harold to like earn that right. Like maybe it, it had to like, kind of like with Enma, which I know Enma isn't a devil fruit weapon, but it could be a similar thing where he had to prove himself in a way. And we've also been told, like during Zoro's flashback with Kozaburo, I think that was his name, they also said like the sword chooses its wielder. I think they also said that in Road to Laugh Tale. So we know that's a thing where weapons choose their user. Luffy's devil fruit, I guess, is kind of a weapon, and it chose him. Or at least the government couldn't get it for a long time because of its will. So I'm big on that. Now, I'm not sure if Shanks and Shamrock will have devil fruit specifically. Excuse me. Devil fruits in their swords specifically. I'm like about to burp every other word, if you can't tell. This happens every time we get almost an hour in the stream. If you've been around enough, you know this happens. Because if you go back to like a chapter or two ago, whenever Shamrock used the Cerberus, there is this, like, you can see like this like black magic coming out of the sword to create the Cerberus. And like if we use like Funk Freed as an example, it's not like Spandam put the sword up and like an elephant, magically popped out of the end of it. Like the sword itself just morphed into an elephant, and that's not what happened with Shamrock. So I wonder if that's more of like like I said before, something tying to the Gorosei's transformations, like they imbued the circle stuff into the weapon. That kind of seems to be, what's going on. But yeah, no, I like that idea. I like that a lot, especially like the heaven, hell, and earth part of it all. And it would make sense, I think, that maybe Shanks and Shamrock would have ones that aren't specifically devil fruits, but this advanced thing, because if they're representing like heaven and hell in a way, then devil fruits, which it being a fruit, would then grow from a tree, which is from the earth. So that would make sense that one would be more of the earth level power. So I'm on that neck. You're cooking. You're cooking. Seriously. Let's see. Young Usopp, my guy, dude. It's been way too long, Young Usopp. I hope you're doing well, man. I hope you and your family are doing well. With the $5 super chat, like the stream, y'all, bro. I appreciate you. You're a real one just for that. Coming in super chat, just say like the stream. If y'all haven't checked out Young Usopp, you need to. I did see that you dropped a song. I think it was a few weeks ago. Not gonna lie, time has melded into just one time block for me. The last few weeks, honestly, the last 3 months or so have just been one blob, so I can't remember, but I know you dropped a song recently, so definitely go check out Young Usopp. I appreciate you, man. JR Writer 203 with the $10 super chat. If the Holy Knights are stealthy with kidnapping the Straw Hats, if the Holy Knights are stealthy with kidnapping, the Straw Hats could get blamed for that, in addition to Loki being free and Usopp hurting Jarl. Our note quote: Giants will start hating the Straw Hats. So I think what our note quote saying, like, don't stay here too long, is that maybe it? Like, that'd be interesting. Like, if you stay too long, you're gonna upset them, and then you're gonna have the Giants on you. That would be an interesting angle to think about. Now, I like what you're saying here, though, that like everything the Straw Hats are doing could easily be construed as like a bad or evil thing. And this is something that we've seen in a lot of arcs before, you know, where like the crew kind of needs people to vouch for them, and I think that's what Harudin's going to do. But also, I think an interesting plot point is that Harudin, despite being the son of Harold, has never been, you know, given the title of king. Like, that's his whole goal, is to be king of all the giants. And so, like, how much weight will his word have, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Like, if his crew is the only one that's really going to vouch for him, and, I mean, Dorian Broggie will too, of course, but they've been gone for a long time, right? I don't, like, you know, and not that Loki vouching for Loki would help either, but I just think the Giants maybe are like, hey, is this really the good guy that you're talking about? And I think this could also go to what we were told with, like, how the sun god, like, is the sun god the warrior of liberation or destruction? Like that kind of juxtaposition that we were given, where, because since the sun god appears at the end of each world, that would kind of imply, like, okay, well, every time this guy shows up, the world ends, so who knows what he's like. We might be seeing kind of a similar thing here. Like, okay, hey, Luffy showed up, this guy who has that whole Nika transformation, and now bad stuff's happening. Like, what's going on? Yeah, I don't know where that's going to go. I think that's a really interesting thing to think about for the rest of this arc. Because you also think about, like, Fishman Island, right? Where Jinbei made a really big deal of saying, like, hey, if you're going to save us, if you're going to help our race, then you need to do it the right way. Like, you have to come out at the right moment, do the right thing, whatever. Like, Jinbei was kind of coaching him to make sure that Luffy's actions were perceived correctly. And right now, it seems like Luffy's actions, I would have to imagine, are not going to be perceived correctly. So that's interesting. I really like where Oda's going with a lot of this Elbaf stuff, where, like, from seeing how Elbaf has shifted from kind of like a barbaric kind of isolationist country a little bit to a more like global trade, a little more sophisticated kind of country, and some people like it, some people don't, and even how there's like a mix of different giant races, and, you know, some, like, they're, you know, they kind of don't like mixed breeds of giants and stuff. Like, there's a lot of really interesting cultural elements going on, and how the Straw Hats stuff gets perceived is definitely going to play off of that really well, because while most of the giants probably don't like Loki, there might be a sect of them that kind of don't care that much. Like, maybe they don't like the way things are and wanted Loki to do his thing. You think back to Fishman Island, there was the new Fishman pirates, right? There was like a whole group of bad fishmen that were okay with what Hody was doing, and there was a group that wasn't. And I think that's kind of where this is going, honestly. That's a really good thought, JR Writer. I like that. K Raven, super chat at $5. K Raven, I'm in gold on Marvel Rivals. That's all I gotta say. Could Loki have a split personality like Cavendish? That's interesting. Also, could Sabo being a sun god spreading flames of war, or Ace dying, be parallels to the Harley, or are parallels in the Harley? Well, let me think about the Cavendish part first. I guess are you kind of implying that maybe the reason why, like let me see what Harudin was saying. He's a cunning, ruthless trickster, black-hearted, and beyond redemption. Since we were kids, even when he did or said something nice, it was all a lie. He betrays others without a second thought. Yeah, like, maybe he literally has two personalities, where maybe, like, the normal one is nice, and then the other one, and I don't know how, I don't know if it would be like Cavendish, where whenever he falls asleep it happens, because Cavendish is just kind of like really explicit in that way. But that would be kind of interesting that maybe he actually has two personalities, and that's why, you know, even like when he, like, because Harudin's saying even when he did or said something nice, well, that implies that Loki did do nice things at some point, right? Like, that, it definitely happened. And it could be that he's just, you know, that's it. Maybe he's like, I don't know, what is it, like, I don't know, like bipolar or schizophrenia or whatever the right terminology is. Like, maybe he just flips the switch, you know, here and there, and he's like either really evil or really good, really evil, really good. And that's actually an interesting to think about in terms of Big Mom, right? Because Big Mom, while she doesn't, I don't know if split personality is the right way to put it, she does have multiple personalities, right? Whenever she was Olin, whenever she had the amnesia, she was actually a good person. And we even know when she was a kid that she was actually good. It's just that she went about it in a bad way, right? Like she wanted to stop the bear and the wolf from fighting, but the way that she did that was kind of kill them both, but because she's just so strong, right? It could be kind of a similar thing here. Again, it might not be like Cavendish specifically where it's about sleep, but Big Mom has like certain triggers that then flip her personality into different states. She's kind of neutral. I mean, she's bad, but she's roughly neutral a lot of the time when she's just at Whole Cake. I mean, she's planning really nefarious stuff, but compared to like the Hunger Pang mode, she's not crazy and destructive. So we see like kind of a neutral and kind of a crazy, but then there's also the good side whenever she's Olin. So we kind of have 3 versions of Big Mom. So maybe Loki's the same way, because obviously Loki was supposed to marry Lola, right? So we know that those groups are connected very closely. Loki was also born while Big Mom was in Elbaf, so that's even another connection. Yeah, you might be onto something. And then also you said, could Sabo being a sun god spreading flames of war or Ace dying, are those parallels in the Harley? I guess I'll spoil a little bit of the mural video, because I do talk about that. I'm pretty convinced that part where they say the sun spread the flames of war, that's about the forbidden sun, the ancient kingdom energy being used to power the ancient weapons, because we know during the Void Century the ancient weapons were used to flood the world. So the ancient weapons were used as a part of that war. And so whenever it says this, because it says the sun spread the flames of war, not the sun god. And so I think since it said the sun, that's implying the forbidden sun that we, had context from the first world. So I think that's it. But I do want to mention, because I do think there is a Sabo and Ace parallel in this. The left side where we see the evil devil monster thing holding the sun, I think that is definitely a connection to Sabo or Ace, because when Ace fought Blackbeard, his final attack was called Entei, and it looked like a giant sun, and he lost, right? But then, tying to Sabo, what's Sabo called now? He's called Entei. He's called the same thing that attack was called, the Flame Emperor. And so Sabo is kind of representing that same thing, so maybe he is a bit of a sun god in a way, because he has like sun powers, he has fire powers. So yeah, I do think there's a connection there. But I think the sun spreading flames of war is about the ancient weapon specifically. But like I said, that'll be in the mural video. And what's really fun about the mural video, I gotta say, because I've watched a few other videos on it because I wanted mine to be different, is it's really interesting how everyone has come to like vastly different conclusions. Like I kind of came to mine and then went and watched all these other videos, and I was like, oh dang, I would have never looked at it that way, or I never would have looked at it that way. So it has me confident that you guys will watch mine and hopefully feel the same way, that I'm presenting things in a new way. Some things I'm sure will be similar, but yeah, I'm excited for that video. That will be out next weekend. I have a sponsor deadline, so whenever there's a sponsor deadline, I'm sticking to the deadline, because I have no choice then. They usually dictate the schedule at this point. So yeah, and also Florian Triangle still coming out tomorrow for the same reason. But Alexander Fiorello with the $5 super chat. Thank you again. Woke up this morning excited for your stream, man. Did you see Oda confirmed Hanafuda is Ulti and Page One's dad? It was in the new SBS. Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. And thank you for the super chat, by the way. Yeah, so that's the only part of the SBS that I've seen. I was scrolling on Reddit, and because I've avoided spoilers and so much, and because I make content here, I don't get One Piece stuff to pop up on my general Reddit feed very often, which is a good thing, so I don't get spoiled, even though the mods on the subreddit are usually pretty good. But I was scrolling, and I did get spoiled on the SBS, and I was like, oh shoot, maybe I should, oh shoot, I don't want to look at that, I don't want to get spoiled. But I caught in one glimpse, it said SBS 111, and I was like, wait, okay, hold on, if it's the SBS, then it doesn't tie to the chapter and I won't get spoiled. So I went and read it. Like I gingerly was reading through it to make sure I wasn't going to get spoiled, but it was only the SBS. So I did read just that one. It's the only one I saw. Didn't want to go into the subreddit and check any more stuff out, so I didn't get spoiled. But I did see that, and that's crazy. That is really, really crazy. I like that. I like the backdrop to him, and I like it because, he was introduced kind of suddenly. Like we knew that he existed because Ace defeated him, but he's not, you know, he's already dead, so it's not like he's gonna come back and be like a major character. But I love that Oda gave that little bit of backdrop to him, just because it just fills out that world a little bit more. You also think about how Ace like went into Wano and like, you know, broke Kaido's statue, wanted to fight Kaido and all that, fought Yamato, all that kind of stuff. And then we find out that he defeated kind of like a Kaido ally or fanboy or whatever you want to call him. I think that is really cool. There's like that kind of world building. It's like unnecessary. Like Hanafuda doesn't need to be in the manga ever. You know, that's not something that we're gonna like miss much with. But that backdrop is really cool, and it's really good timing because of the cover story. I thought that was interesting too, that Oda's releasing that while Ulti and Page 1 are in the cover story now, because they're coming back. And so again, you know, Hanafuda doesn't have to be like an important part, but it would be kind of cool if Ulti and Page 1 even had like a, like what if Yamato saves Ulti and Page 1? And then Ulti and Page 1 have like a little bit of a discussion with Yamato about their dad, because maybe Yamato doesn't know that story about Hanafuda and stuff. Maybe Yamato does. But it would just be kind of cool because Yamato also has a connection with Ace, and then if Hanafuda lost to Ace, it's just like, I think that just that weaving of things is so cool for world building purposes. So yeah, I did see that. That is, I'm excited to read the rest of the SBS, honestly. I don't know what else he said. Straw Hat Koofy with the $2 super chat. Ragnir's fruit eats fire. Loki protects the Atom Tree. That is an interesting idea. That even like Loki would be protecting the Atom Tree in some way. Now, conversely, I wonder if it could be that Ragnir produces fire and that will burn the tree. I'm not sure if that would be it, but I like where you're going, because remember, this is like one of those like throw-in facts that I feel like is incredibly important, but it hasn't really been shown in the manga. But Ace has a fire sword, right? Like his sword can like catch fire, or I forget exactly how it was phrased with Film Red, but he has a fire sword, and could that be a tie here? Because we already know that, you know, Shanks beat Loki. He's like part of the reason that Loki got you know, locked up and everything. I wonder if that could be part of it. Which then in that case it would be that fire is beating Ragnir, so it would be a kind of a flip of that idea. But it would be cool that if Ragnir does counter fire in some way, that he'd be fighting Shanks, right? So I think that's kind of interesting. That is and Loki protecting the Atom Tree, I think it's interesting because, like, just symbolically, if he wanted to cut down the Atom Tree, then you would think that Oda would give him an axe or even a sword. But because he has a hammer, like not something that you would chop down a tree with, maybe he does protect it for that reason. I mean, it's kind of like a vague reason, because there's also a lot of hammer ties to Norse mythology and stuff. And it makes a lot of sense that Loki be the one who has a hammer. But I mean, I don't know, the fact he doesn't have an axe or something. And we also met the Mountain Eater here, who cut down a bunch of trees, and he uses axes. So we kind of know that Oda, you know, definitely plays off that symbolism. So I wonder, I don't know. I'm excited to see whatever Ragnar's powers are. I think that's assuming it has powers. I mean, we're kind of assuming that it does. It might not, but I hope it does. Knack, I saw yours about the thoughts on Loki's weapon in the Discord. Appreciate you. Dreams, excuse me, Dreams Never Die 95 with the $20 super chat. Thank you very much, bro. Seriously. Shamrock already left. Blackbeard and Marijwa. Now about Shamrock, before I continue, I don't think we know he left for sure, right? Because in the last chapter, I know they said he had to leave, but he's you know, he's in the midst of concocting that plan. So, and also he's supposed to go back, but he's the captain, so I feel like he might, I don't know, like Oda probably wouldn't introduce that, even the point that he needs to go back, unless that was going to go somewhere. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but he hasn't left yet. I do think he will leave, though. I think that probably makes the most sense. Luffy should probably see him, though, or even get a glimpse, or at least like sense the haki. I don't know, but Blackbeard and Marijwa in chapter 1126, he told Lafitte, "It ain't no time to sit back. Get ready." I think that's possible. Actually, I want to go back and look at that chapter real quick, because there was like, whenever I was doing a video recently, there was a like when I was doing a video and I thought like I like mentioned something from this chapter, but then when I went and looked back at the chapter, it didn't happen the way that I originally thought. So I'm gonna go back and just refresh my memory so I don't say something dumb that is not accurate. Although I guess I do that sometimes. Okay, so so basically, whenever I first read this chapter, I thought that Lafitte was at the red line, but he's looking at like a flashback or like in his imagination. He's looking at the red line. He's at the Navy shipping headquarters, and the reason I bring that up is just because as far as Blackbeard and Marigeois, you know, I don't know if that, you know, because Blackbeard has Caribou in waiting in the wings. And I feel like going for one of the weapons is going to make the most sense. But at the same time, with this Lafitte context, like maybe Lafitte will just go. Because like I was saying, like he's at the Navy Umit shipping headquarters, which is different than the Red Line. I mean, it's probably nearby, but it's not quite the same, I think. And so maybe what they'll do is they'll send Lafitte up to Marigeois to broker another deal, because we saw that in the pre-time skip. So maybe since Lafitte is tied to all this, he will go there and, you know, say, hey, we heard you're having an issue with food. We can bring you up some food. Like I think that, because he's already tied to the loss of the cargo by like sitting near the shipping headquarters, right? And then Blackbeard could go to, I guess, Wano. I think that's a really big debate right now. Is he going to go to Wano, or is he going to go to Fishman Island because Poseidon's down there, because he's going to be aware of both of them? You know, I would definitely say Wano is more his speed, especially because like he has darkness powers. That's where the god of the underworld is, you know, Pluton's name. So I think that makes more sense. But I don't know. I see John Sherrod in the chat. Frankie and Queen are not related. JJ, you're coping, my guy. You're coping. You got to accept the facts. It's an unfortunate time, but you got to accept the facts. Frankie is Queen's son, which is crazy. But yeah, Dreams Never Die. As far as this, I doubt all the Blackbeard pirates are going to the same place. I guess that's really what I'm getting at. Is like I don't think Blackbeard's going to head right there. If Lafitte was already in Marigeois reporting, then I think that'd be more likely. But because Lafitte is more so looking at the shipping cargo and stuff like that, I think we're heading to a point where Lafitte could go up to Marigeois, but I don't think the crew will. Like Blackbeard's not going up there until he either has them dead to rights, or what I think is more likely, he's going to get invited. He's going to find a way to just be allowed to go in, and it'll be the dumbest thing anyone's ever done. Just like with making him a warlord so we could go to Impel Down and stuff, right? But then you also said, number 2 here, second option, Ragnar was called Iron Thunder. Maybe the hammer has thunder dials like Arc Maxim and created the Heaven Realm. Now, I'm curious about this Iron Thunder thing. Is that is that an actual thing? Ragnar actually means that? Okay, I see a lot of, yeah, whenever I look that up, I see a lot of results, but they're all from One Piece people just saying that that's true. I don't see like a translation thing. Not saying it's wrong. It's just when all the first results are just theories, then I raise my eyebrows a little bit, because I'm like, you know, where did that come from? Because if it was more prevalent, then you think that would be everywhere. But I guess I'm just gonna trust it, because I see a lot of people saying it. And so if it does mean Iron Thunder in some way, then that's crazy, for one thing. That's insane. I don't even, so it definitely is going to have some lightning power, which again ties to Mjolnir. And you were saying that maybe it has thunder dials like Arc Maxim and created the Heaven Realm. Well, I guess as far as the Heaven Realm, we might have to go see that first, because don't know if you guys can hear the police outside, but they're not coming for me, but they're going for somebody. But I just had like 1 million police officers drive by. Or maybe the police are coming for me because we're spoiling too much. But I don't know if it would have dials in it. I mean, that would make sense given the Skypiea connections. But we also have this whole like legendary devil fruit thing that's being talked about, so I could see both. Because I also, which I did a video a while ago, which actually that video I think recently just hit 100K, which is amazing because I did not think that video was going to. So I'm glad that one stuck in the algorithm. So I appreciate you guys. But in that video, I kind of talked about how Enel and Loki are definitely parallels for one another. You know, they both are kind of calling themselves gods. They're both like this kind of almighty being that like nobody can really beat. I mean, technically Loki was, but like they needed Shanks to come do it. You look at Enel, like Luffy had to go do it, right? It's like only like very certain people can even beat these guys. They call themselves gods. They, I can't remember all the connections off the top of my head. There was a lot of good ones in that video. And so, you know, given all those connections, you know, thunder dials might make sense, but I could also just see lightning powers. Like if it's a like a mythical zone that has lightning abilities and you just imbue it into the hammer, that would also work. And I think that could also tie to some Uranus stuff because, you know, I think a lot of people are, well, you're either thinking that Uranus is the thing over Lelucia or that Uranus is going to be a weather controlling thing, or maybe both. And, you know, having lightning come down would be a part of controlling the weather and stuff. So I could also see that, like maybe there's, I don't know if the devil fruit that was used is going to be Uranus or something, but it could be like you said, like with the dials in the Arc Maxim, maybe it's using whatever technology the Ancient Kingdom used back then to, like, because we know that there was an Arc Maxim in the past, right? Because of the mural. We saw that one, like, because Enel had the Arc Maxim built by the Skypieans, like, during his rule, we know that there was a separate flying ship because of the mural. And maybe whatever that used is what's used here in the hammer. That might, it might just be more dials. I mean, maybe it was dials in both occasions, but you would also maybe think they had a more advanced version. I don't know. I know that's interesting. The Iron Thunder part is crazy. That's like actually legit. That insane. Definitely gonna have to bring that up in the redacted video for sure. Thank you, Dreams Never Die. Young Usopp with the $10 super chat. Young Usopp, thank you, bro, for being so generous. What if the hammer was handed down by Usopp's ancestors? Leave it to young Usopp to cook on the Usopp theory, which is why he always relies on his hammer, just like Zoro using swords. Each member seems to gravitate to what their ancestors specialized in. Yeah, that's also fire. Tying to what Dreams Never Die said too. What if Ragnir, if it is like a really old weapon and maybe he's using dials or whatever, like maybe that Usopp's ancestor created it, you know, because Usopp uses dial, like he put dials into his Kabuto, right? And if there are dials in this hammer, which we, you know, obviously still remains to be seen, then that'd be kind of crazy. Like Usopp's great-great-great-grandpa made that thing. I like that a lot. Now, I will say the one caveat, which I brought up in my Usopp power-up video, is that, you know, Usopp does use the hammer, but he doesn't specialize in the hammer, right? Like, that's not, like, it's almost more of a gag than it is, like, his actual fighting style, because obviously he's a sniper. And honestly, even if the hammer can, like, change sizes and stuff, so maybe Usopp could throw it or something, that's not really sniping, you know, like Usopp's got to be a good sniper. I think that's always going to be his thing. Like he's going to fight Van Augur, and it's going to be really weird if he all of a sudden becomes a hammer guy. And I'm not saying that's necessarily what you're implying. I guess I'm just kind of, there's a little bit of a wrench in the equation here with Usopp's hammer stuff. But I like the idea that it's his ancestor. Like, what if one of his ancestors was, you know, just he only used hammers, and then, you know, obviously, I guess the other side of his family would introduce the sniping part somehow, and which has become his main thing. But yeah, the more I think about that, the more I like it. And in part of my mural video that a main part of the mural video that is going to drop next weekend is, I think Usopp's ancestor drew the mural. And I actually think that ancestor was on Joy Boy's crew. That's a major part of the video. So anyone who's here watching, which I think I mentioned that during my mural reaction, I may have mentioned that idea. But anyone here is getting a little bit of a sneak peek into that. I think for sure, because Usopp's an artist and there's a lot of other reasons that I'll bring up in the video. But I think he could have done that, and then, I mean, that's the kind of like important person, like, you know, if somebody made that mural, which I know painting and like blacksmithing are completely different trades, but you know, Usopp is a man of many trades, right? I mean, he was also part shipwright for a while. He wore many different hats throughout the series. And so I could see someone like Usopp's ancestor being able to like make the mural and the hammer, because they're just, you know, multi-talented in that way. So I like that. Maybe that guy is going to be really important. And I think that could also be Nolan's ancestor, by the way. I think because they're probably all related. But yeah, young Usopp, you're cooking though. Terrible TJ with the 23-month membership celebration. Almost 2 years, dude. Only 80 likes. Like the stream. Hey, bro, I appreciate it. It really means a lot when you guys come in here and just you know, super chat or celebrate a member's message and just say you know, to like the stream. That seriously means a lot. So listen to Terrible TJ. Do what the man says and like the stream. Also, I saw Florian Miles has subscribed. Florian Miles, you're gonna like the video that I'm uploading tomorrow about the Florian Triangle. At least I think. Kush Daddy with the $2 super chat. I'm late. I was wondering where you were, man. We've been waiting for you this whole time. I can't end the stream until we get a Kush Daddy music message. I'm late, but Into Club or Candy Shop by 50 Cent. All right. See, now you're asking the hard questions, Kush Daddy. Ah, man, that Kush Daddy, you're killing. I'm leaving this one to the chat. I think I know which one I would pick, but I don't want to influence the chat. So I'm gonna, yeah, well, whatever. I'll just put it as the poll. But yeah, I don't want to influence you guys. Yeah, I think I know which one, but that's a tough question, Kush. I will say, if you said Many Men as an option, that would probably be the immediate one for me. I do like Many Men. I'm about to go look up some other, dude, PIMP. If you would have said PIMP, Kush, oh, it would have been over. It would have been over. PIMP is definitely the number one, dude. I can't believe I forgot about PIMP. That's hilarious. 21 Questions is also great. And hey, 50 Cent, man, he had a lot of hits. But yeah, PIMP. That's my number one. That's my number one. I'll tell you which one. I'll tell you which one I picked between these two before the stream ends. Yeah, JJ, you like Many Men. See, the thing about Candy Shop, at least for me, is it's super iconic, which Into Club is also. But Candy Shop, like, I could start hearing the lyrics the second I even hear the name Candy Shop by 50 Cent. You know, like it's so. I probably listened to that song or heard it on the radio or from my friends or brothers, whatever, more times than Into Club. But I feel like Into Club is kind of a cultural, you know, like a cult classic. I don't know if that's really the right way to put it. It's a cultural phenomenon in a way. It's a very big song for its time. So yeah, I'll leave my choice for the end. But PIMP would be number one. Let's be very clear. Kush, PIMP would have been too easy, not even fair. Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you didn't ask it for that reason. Dude, PIMP is hilarious. Kush, if you want to really give me a conundrum, ask me some Eminem songs, because I love almost every Eminem song. Almost. I even like Fack. If anybody remembers Fack is a crazy song. I know most of the lyrics, which is maybe embarrassing at this point, but Yeah, if you that Eminem's my guy. I'll be here for days debating those ones. JJ, Candy Shop is a song you sing when you mock 50. Let's see how much like money he made off of Candy Shop, or like, you know, like where it ranked in the charts. Come on, man. Candy Shop peaked at #1 on the Billboard Top 100. Come on now. And it was there for 2 months. Look, man. Candy Shop's legit. Now let's see what In Da Club did. So In Da Club was his first #1 song on the Billboard Top 100. And it was also there for 2 months. So In Da Club and Candy Shop were #1 for the same amount of time, which is crazy. I don't have time to look through all the other stats, but that's actually crazy. They're neck and neck. Kush, did you do this research before? Did you go in and know that these songs are that neck and neck? Because I didn't know that. JJ, Till I Collapse. Dude, see, Till I Collapse is like one of the... It's one of Eminem's top songs ever, and it's like one of, at least for me growing up, like one of my all-time favorite hype songs. Like that's the kind of thing I would listen to going to a basketball game. So that one's like almost not fair to even pick because of that. I have like such a close connection to it. But then again, I would say that for a lot of the song. So I'd probably pick Till I Collapse because it's just so iconic. JJ, we define good music by money. I think I define good music at least generally by how well it did in the charts, because that shows how much people like it and want to listen to it. You know what I mean? I guess I'm not trying to just use my opinion. I'm trying to just look at what the cultural zeitgeist thought of those songs. Because if it's at the top, if it's at #1 in the Billboard Top 100 for a long time, then obviously that's, you know, it's a big song that people enjoy, and the radio's playing it a lot and all that stuff. Daft Frick. I feel like I completely missed the era of music when 50 Cent was popular. I don't know what I was doing. Early to mid 2000s, my guy. That was the time to be alive. Those are the officially the good old days. Now the 90s were great too. I'm gonna be honest, but early to mid 2000s, man, the world was cooking back then. JJ said those are your 2 favorite songs from M. What do you think about Stan? Or did you listen to his new album? Because I honestly really liked it. You know, some songs were a little just not for me, I guess, but like Houdini. I know Houdini's like, it came out before the album, and it's like the #1 song, so it's not even fair to, I feel like, say that, you know, to tie it to the album that closely, because like it existing as a single was almost bigger than, you know, it coming from the album, or it's like bigger than the album itself. But that was a great song. I'm a big fan of Houdini. Trying to think, oh man, Without Me is also a great Eminem song. Yeah, I gotta refresh my memory a little bit. See, like some of his newer stuff, like, well, like not the newest, but in between old M and current M, like Rap God. Like I know that's a really, really big song. That one I wasn't really a huge fan of. Without Me is one of my all-time favorites. Man, he has so many. Superman was great. Mockingbird, amazing. Oh, dude, Mockingbird to me is actually so underrated. Also, from 8 Mile, his like freestyle from 8 Mile is ironically amazing. Cleaning Out My Closet. Man, he had a song in his Relapse album called Must Be the Ganja. That's just hilarious. Till I Collapse got me through all my middle school sports warm-ups. That's what I'm saying, Kush. Like, for people that I probably near our age, I would assume, like Till I Collapse was like if you had a pump up playlist on your iPod and you didn't have Till I Collapse, you just weren't pumped up enough for the game. You know what I mean? Like If you borrowed someone's earbud to listen to some music before the game to get hyped up, and they didn't have Till I Collapse, you would ask them what they're doing wrong. Like what, why, you know? 50 Cent and RuneScape, Straw Hat Koofy, you get me, dude. You get me. 50 Cent, Eminem, RuneScape, E-Bombs World. I can't remember any other. There's a lot of things that defined that era for me, for sure. Oh yeah, Lose Yourself, JJ. That's another really good one. That is another very, very good one. That, I mean, probably the most iconic song that he has. Like when Lose Yourself starts, like everyone just starts singing along. You know, like everybody knows that song. Until I Collapse, I feel like people have heard it, but they might not be able to like sing along as well, or I don't know. Like the start of Till I Collapse is just insane. Kush Daddy, I'm glad that you remember E-Bombs World. E-Bombs World, also Mini Clip or Mini Clips. I think it was just Mini Clip, one of the two. If you guys remember that, that's how I found RuneScape, because on Mini Clip they were like promoting RuneScape, which is whoever made that advertising decision for RuneScape. You deserve a raise, because I don't know how many kids found RuneScape from Mini Clip because of that. Those were the good old days, guys. I'm telling you, those were the good old days. Daft, you said I was busy with Counter-Strike 1.6. I never got into Counter-Strike, but I do remember my first time playing an online game was Counter-Strike, and I remember my friend invited me over. I think it was on PS2, which was crazy to me. That we had like live video or like live online video gaming back then. But I remember I was like blown away and I was really into it, but my parents wouldn't get me a PS2. But then later they got me an Xbox, and so then I just started playing Gears of War and Halo and stuff. But I never got into Counter-Strike. JJ said, are you an MGK guy, you being pro-Ohio and all? You know, I always support the Ohio fam, the Cleveland born and bred, but I'm not an MGK guy. I am a Kid Cudi guy, though. Absolutely a Kid Cudi guy. If you guys like Kid Cudi, we can talk. The Prayer is probably my favorite song, and not even for any kind of like religious reasons. I don't even know if it's really like that religious of a song, but that, like, I can sing that entire song. That's definitely my favorite Kid Cudi song. He also has a couple songs with Chip the Ripper that I like. I like Chip. He's another Cleveland guy. But yeah, not MGK. MGK is not my guy. And Kush, we are showing our Unk status, absolutely. The Unks have completely taken over the chat. Kush, you all remember the Teen Titans fighting game on CartoonNetwork.com? I can't say I do, but I do remember there being a plethora of amazing games on CartoonNetwork.com, and even like Nickelodeon stuff. But I'm pretty sure on CartoonNetwork.com, the one game I really remember getting obsessed with was the Billy and Mandy Halloween game. I remember like you went around the town like trick-or-treating basically, but like collecting like the candy. I can't remember exactly what the point of it was, but I do remember being obsessed with that game. Oh, Dow Day and Night. Oh, dude, yes. Stuck on repeat. Absolutely. Oh, so many we could talk about that are just on repeat. I remember talking to, when I was in LA, if you guys remember, about a year ago, which that is, dude, that is so crazy. That's been a year, where I visited Randy Troy, if you remember. And he drove me after that to my next destination, which major shout out, Randy, just even for inviting me, but also driving me, because I know driving around LA can be very time consuming. So I appreciate you, my guy. I remember we were talking in the car about music, and he was saying he was also a big Cudi head, like a massive one. And we were talking about Cudi for quite a long time. So shout out Randy Troy. He's also cultured in that way. Oh, Sugar Rush, the Ben 10 one, and Foster's Home ones. I gotta say, Foster's Home, which I can't remember the game specifically, which I know that's what you're talking about, but the show Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, dude, one of my all-time favorites. Like, I can't even say enough about it. I I don't have a lot of Funko Pops. I'm not a Funko guy. But I do have one, and I can't show it to you because it's inside my computer. But I have Mac inside my computer guarding my GPU and all my everything that's going on right now. This stream, the only reason it hasn't crashed is because Mac is in there protecting it. Because dude, Foster's Home, 10 out of 10. Legit for me, 10 out of 10. Also, Wilt. As a big basketball fan, I think I said, I'm getting some deja vu. I think I said this exact thing. But Wilt from Foster's Home, based off Wilt Chamberlain. I don't know if that's what really like made me stick to the show for so long, but I thought that reference was so cool that I was with it the whole time. Like Blue, obviously also amazing. Eduardo, amazing. Coco's all right, but just such a good show. Also, just regarding the poll from earlier to finally answer about which 50 Cent song is better, Indie Club or Candy Shop, my vote was Indie Club. Even though, like I said, Candy Shop's iconic, Indie Club is just like, it's a cultural, everybody knows it. I mean, I know everyone knows Candy Shop too, but I feel like Indie Club is just like if you're gonna go make a bass club music playlist, you know, like if you told me I had like 5 minutes to pick a 20 song playlist for the club for that night, Indie Club might be the first song that I pick. You know, it might, like, not just because club is in the name, but that literally might just be like, that's just what I think of. So yeah, Indie Club's great. I'm gonna go with that one too, but no disrespect to Candy Shop, I'm gonna be honest. The Vancouver Grizzlies logo is the Blackbeard monster in the Harley mural. Wait, hold on. That's actually really funny, especially because I don't know if you guys remember from my Blackbeard video that came out like a year ago now, I think, but I theorized that that Blackbeard, basically his zone form that he has, which like he either might already have it or he might get the fruit later, whatever it is, it might be actually a bear, because in the Ace novel he wore a bear mask while he was on Blackbeard's or Whitebeard's crew to like disguise himself. So like bear mask in particular, it's like why they picked that. He already has the claws, right, that he uses, and so maybe he literally does transform into one. Now I doubt it's just gonna be that simple. It's maybe like a bear, maybe like multiple creatures combined into one. I don't really know. But that is funny. The way that he's holding the basketball, that is funny. Actually, I like that. So Blackbeard is a Grizzlies fan. Also, you know, Blackbeard, Black Bear is in the name Blackbeard. It's Black Bear D. So, you know, you never know. You never know. Well, all right, guys. I am gonna head out. I think it's about it. Yeah, we're past an hour and a half, so I'm gonna get going. I got to get working on the rest of the video. So, just a couple quick things before I go. If you guys won TCG cards in the last giveaway, I have not shipped those out yet. They're sitting right in front of me, packed up, ready to be shipped out. I just haven't done it. That should happen tomorrow. I really got to get this video done, so those will be out soon. If you want to sign up for the next giveaway, that will be happening. Honestly, I should post that just this weekend. Yeah, because it's going to be the start of March. Yeah, so I'll post that this weekend. So be on the lookout for the community post if you want to sign up for the next giveaway. And then be on the lookout for the Florian Triangle video tomorrow. Be on the lookout for a redacted video this weekend about this chapter. And we might talk about the last chapter. And just, you know, and we'll just talk about kind of expectations for the future. If you have questions for me and Sai, again, I'm like 95% sure Sai is going to be able to do it. He already said yes, but I just got to make sure today. But if you have questions for me inside that you want to ask about this chapter or just about anything in general, you can leave it in the comments here or go to the Discord and go to the redacted questions section, which I didn't open last week because I didn't have time to do the video. But I am going to open that now. So if you guys want to, I think, did I never close it? Oh, no, I did. Okay, so now you guys can send messages. So yeah, if you do have questions for me inside, you can go post them in there. I'll pick some of the top voted ones for us to talk about. And otherwise, the most important thing that I ask all of you to do today is watch the Cleveland Cavaliers beat up on the Boston Celtics at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. All right, we're going in to Boston and taking care of business. That's all I got to say. Last thing I'm going to say before I head out, I just saw Mr. Bushido came in and super chatted. I appreciate you, Mr. Bushido. Did you see Dr. Stone new manga? He used Ace's design. I didn't see that. No, I didn't. I really like Dr. Stone. I'm not like fully caught up or anything, but I did watch as much of the anime as was out at the time that I watched, and I really, really liked it. And so Marshall King. All right, so we'll see what Boichi's cooking. We'll see what Boichi's cooking here with Marshall King. And I see what you're saying. So it has Ace's design as the thing on the title, or the cover, I should say. My brain is not working. It's a Wild West setting with a dual-wielding gunslinger as the protagonist, which that's also Ace related, because Ace obviously, you know, had like the fire gun kind of thing. Hey, it's cool. Good for Boichi. I'm a big fan of Boichi ever since he drew the Ace novel. I've been, and I like Dr. Stone, but that's cool. Mr. Bushido, Eminem, only rapper I like. Oh, dude, we're cut from the same cloth. Now I like a lot of other rappers, but Eminem is my number one. Tazmorn, you are late. Unfortunately, I'm heading out. I said I'm leaving like 5 times now, and I keep getting distracted and staying around. But now I'm heading out for real. All right, I'm gonna catch you guys later, and we'll be back next week because there's no break. So Florian Triangle video tomorrow, Redacted video tomorrow or Sunday, reaction hopefully Thursday, mural video next weekend. We got lots of stuff coming, guys. We got lots of stuff coming.